Hello everybody, welcome back. I hope you're doing great. So for today, a longer video, we are going to be talking about the whole thing that happened with Kiss of Life in April. Now we are going to talk about a couple of things. We're going to be talking about how everything was before everything, when it happened. I have a couple articles also to read, and we're going to talk about after everything and what happened. And now that this whole thing happened, and also we're gonna talk about a comparison that I have been seeing a lot of people talk about, and I have my own theory about it. We're going to be talking about a couple of things. I'm hoping this video is not that long, but we will see, because I say that and then I go talking for way too long, and then I go to edit and it's like, how did I talk for like 40 minutes? I don't understand. Sometimes even more. We will see how long this one is, but we're gonna talk about this. Now, if you don't know, in April there was a live that Kiss of Life did, and it went not great, and I still think they are dealing with it. I don't think it's gonna get any better than now, but I wanted to talk about it because this is not the first time that something like this has happened in K-pop, okay? But this is one of the few times that I have seen that the backlash of it's so bad that things like this has happened so quickly. And I was like, what is this way? Because again, like I said, in K-pop we have been seeing this kind of thing of culture appropriation, I think is the best way to describe it, which is what happened with Kiss of Life. It's usually the way that the idol is acting or speaking or dressing or hairstyles that are part of culture, especially black culture. And usually, these fans call them out, they apologize. But I think after it is done, even if the idol apologizes, it never goes back to the same thing. It's always there, and it's gonna follow them forever, I feel like. And I think this is something that's gonna follow Kiss of Life forever, honestly. And for them, I don't think it's going to go back to how it was before, which is what happened in a lot of cases. So I wanted to talk about it. Now, I know I am a little bit late to this. There's a reason though. I wanted to wait because once I wanted to see how everything died down, if it did die down, or if anything else happened. But also I realized that we're going to do a comeback after this, and not like very quickly, like they took some time off, but they were going to do a comeback. So I wanted to wait for that to happen and see how it went and all that. So I waited a bit. Again, like I said, I have a few things to talk about, so I'm okay with waiting. This is very late, but I think we gotta talk about these things as well, because it's seen way too much in K-pop. Again, the group that we're especially focusing is Kiss of Life. The whole name, if you hear the name, is like, I think I made like a first impression or something, and I mentioned what the name is about and all of that, but it had to do something with bringing something fresh to the K-pop industry and all of that. The fandom does have a name, which is Kissy, and there is 4 members on this group. You have Julie, Natty, Belle, I think it's Belle, and Hanu. Hanu. I always have trouble pronouncing her name. I don't know why. I can never pronounce it properly. And the company that they're under is called S2 Entertainment. Now, this company is not exactly fairly new. I think they have been a company for a few years. This company does do a decent job, I feel like, when it comes to promotion and all of that. I haven't done a proper research to see, how good of a company this one is, but I always say there's pros and cons with every company, but I haven't done like a proper research. I sometimes like to know about companies there and all of that, and that's where the random videos of me talking about companies that are not great for business happens. But I haven't done too much about this one, but I think they do a fairly job. I feel like fairly good job, I should say. So before everything happened, I will say their fan base is or was very strong. Now I think their fan base is more strong internationally than Korea, and I think that is because of the concept. If you have heard Kiss of Life concepts and songs and all of that, if you have seen them, they're very sexy. Okay, they got songs like Shh, which is the one that they video with, I think, if I remember. Nobody Knows, Tiki. Those ones are very sexy. There's a very sexy vibe to it. The dance, everything. They're all adults for the most part, if I remember, so it's totally fine. But the concept is very sexy, and I feel like this kind of concept, it's not the greatest when it comes to the Korean public because not too many approve of it. I think they are very stuck in young idols debuting very young and having a very innocent, cute kind of a concept. So a concept like this is like, huh, what is this? No. So I feel like their concept can be a little bit controversial when it comes to the Korean public there watching them and all of that. Now they have won awards. I will say they have won first place in a couple of music shows, which that is something very good, because if you don't know a group winning first place, one, it makes people search about the group a lot more, and two, it's a way for them to see that the Korean public is actually paying attention to them. So that's why a lot of groups wait for that first place to happen at some point in their career. So otherwise a group, wherever it may be. But they have won, so everything up to what happened in April looked very promising. Even thought their international fan base was very strong. They were growing the Korean fan base little by little. I feel like they were more accepting that concept of them, and I think the songs that they were releasing were kind of helping with that, because still they were sexy, but I don't know, there was a vibe to it that I'm guessing the Korean public was kind of liking it, I guess is the best way to put it. But then April comes, and I do have an article talking about this a bit, which hopefully it loads, because lately I have been looking for articles and I'm like, great, and then I go to make the video, it's like doesn't load anymore, which is kind of annoying. But essentially what happened before I read the article, in April it was the birthday of a member, Julie, and the whole concept, I think they did a live, if I remember, and the whole concept was old school, how did they call it, old school hip-hop was the whole theme of her birthday live. They were dressed like that, and the way that they were acting was very, I don't know how to describe it, but it made people angry, especially from black culture people. Very angry. So this article is K-pop girl group Kiss of Life apologizes for racially insensitive live stream. So it was a live, okay. I wasn't that out of it. And this is by Jan Lee, actually. It was published on April. So again, everything happened there. So a couple of months late, but here we are still. I don't know if I'm gonna read everything, but I'm gonna try and read as much as I can. So K-pop female quarter Kiss of Life apologized via handwritten note to the fans following the controversial live broadcast deemed culturally and racially insensitive. On April 6, post on their social media accounts, a note with 4 paragraphs, each written by a different member, was addressed to the fans. No excuse. It says, "We really want to sincerely apologize for the content that was uploaded that caused so much disappointment to our fans. The girl group has celebrated members Julie's 25th birthday with a live broadcast on April 2 with what they said was an old school hip-hop theme party. The members sported accessories and hairstyles usually associated with black culture and rappers, such as big gold chains, cornrows," I'm sorry, I'm saying that completely wrong, I'm sorry, "and bantu knots." I'm sorry, I don't fully know if I'm pronouncing that right. The broadcast was swiftly criticized by fans, especially black K-pop fans, who felt the video mocked black people and reinforced outdated stereotypes. While Kiss of Life's label S2 Entertainment apologized via statement April 3, the girls directly addressed the controversy only via the handwritten apology. The quartet comprising Belle, which is 21, Natty 22, Julie, which I think she's now 25, and Hanul 19, adding the note, "We are sorry, our intention was to show how much we love the category of old school hip hop because it greatly influenced our music." While shooting the content, we ended up taking the concept too far. We realized now that our content was culturally insensitive and take full responsibility for our actions and can only promise to do better. They added, we know that there is nothing we can say or do that will magically fix the mistake we made. The only thing we can promise is that we will continue to educate ourselves and show our sincerity through our actions rather than words. They do show the whole apology. I'll put a picture if you want to read it. You can pause it and read it all. Pretty sure it's still on their Instagram. Pretty sure it's pretty long. And Kiss of Life had lost over 200,000. There we go. No, I still said it wrong. Followers on Instagram since the controversy erupted, going from 3.7 million followers to 3.5 million followers. While some fans felt that they were not intentionally making fun of black culture and were perhaps not aware of what the black community considers offensive, others felt that the group made up of international members should be more aware. Both Belle, I'm saying this wrong, and Julie were born in the United States and spent time living there. Natty is Thai and Haniel is South Korean. This is also not the first time they have faced backlash for racial insensitivity. Oh my god, I cannot speak. It's the time. Julie apologized in 2023 after an old clip of her singing Strange Clouds 2011 by American rapper B.O.B. surfaced. The song has lyrics that include a racial slur, and Julie used it while singing the song. She said in the statement then, an old video has resurfaced in which I, without paying enough attention, sang the original lyrics of a cover song that include a certain world for which I deeply regret. I'm determined to be more cautious and meticulous to prevent making the same mistakes in the future. And they still made this live. Now, I don't fully know that what happened with Julie in 2023. I'm guessing it was a song, which again, that's another thing that happened a lot, is that they tend to sing a song and it has a specific word or words that they shouldn't say. They say it and then that whole clip appears somewhere when they debut and it's like, oh, you said it, okay. And it sounds very clear. I haven't seen the clip of her singing that song, but the fact that that happened and now this happened is like, okay, I don't know if we're getting any better. But now, as you expect, fans were not happy about this whole live broadcast. As you can see by the article that I just read, they all expressed their opinions and took a stand to really not support the group anymore. They lost so many followers, you can see very quickly. I saw that number drop quick and I was like, oh, this is not good for them, honestly. And even the apology of the company and the members, so there were two apologies made, almost one after the other. It wasn't fully enough to gain fans back. Like the article said, there were a lot of people that were like, they probably didn't know, or, you know, saying stuff like that. Well, there was the other side that was like, things like this have happened, not only with this group, with other groups. At this point, they should know better. And at this point, if they do it, they will stop supporting the group. They did a comeback, like I said, and this is the main reason why I waited a couple of months. Maybe a little bit too much, but I waited because I really wanted to see how this comeback did after everything. So it was on June, so everything happened in April, and on June they did a comeback with a mini album called 224, and there were two songs. Usually Kiss of Life kind of performs, or in a way has two title tracks most of the time, because they're always like the title track, but then at some point they start promoting another one. In this case, the actual like main title track, I guess you could call it, was Lips, Hips, Kiss, and then the other one that they ended up performing was Okay Bye. I'm pretty sure this comeback was supposed to happen way before, and they had to push it back because of the whole April live stream that happened, but they probably couldn't push it anymore, so they had to do it. They just waited the amount they thought it was okay for, I'm guessing. Honestly, compared to other songs that they have released, this one is not my favorite, and I think before this one I did a comeback and it wasn't my favorite either. I feel like they are exploring other concepts now, which I'm fine with. I have always said on the channel, I like when groups, you know, expand and do different things. I'm okay with it. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't, and that's the nature of it. When it comes to Kiss of Life, I just feel the concept from before were a little bit more stronger than the ones that they're kind of doing now. I have a theory as to why they're changing concepts, especially after this, but I'll talk about it in a second. But compared to the other ones, I think album sales were kind of the same. At least I saw in a page that were kind of the same, like the first week and all of that. When it comes to views, is that it fluctuates a lot. I feel like their music videos definitely got a lot more views than this one, so there was definitely a little bit of a drop there, but you never know, it might be picked up or something and it might go up at some point. But people weren't really talking too much about this comeback, honestly. It did happen, but the talk that I usually see with Kiss of Life concept wasn't there. I don't know if it was because of the whole thing that happened in April, or if the concept was way too different to people care about it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's one of the two. It just, there was something disconnected with the Kiss of Life that I have, you know, loved concepts before, since they debuted and all of that. Another thing that happened was the other song that they kind of promoted, which was K-Bye. If you listen to the lyrics, it looks like they're talking to the haters. You know, there's a lot of if you don't like me, okay, goodbye, things like that. And a lot of people thought that they were talking about the whole thing that happened in April and kind of talking to those haters that were saying stuff about them because of the live and all of that. Now I did saw that somebody was saying that when they recorded this song was way before what happened in April, so that's probably why that was Sunday and all of that. But still, I feel like if I was in the company and that happened in April and I had a song like this in the mini album, I would be like, you know what, I prefer if there is -1 song on this and make it a single or an EP or whatever you might call it, and not have the song knowing what happened in April. You know, I would have pull the plug on that, even if it costed a little bit of money on my part if I was a company, because it didn't put a good taste in people's mouth. It definitely made things even worse, because it's like, I don't care if they recorded that on March, I don't care if they recorded that the day before the whole live, they still put it on the mini albums, you know. And that's what a lot of people were kind of talking about as well. So that happened. Something else that happened, which I have it here. We're supposed to be on KCON 2025 that just happened a couple, I think it was this month, August, that happened. I always get confused by the dates. I always say I want to go, but I never realize when it is. They were supposed to be there and they pull out, I guess, I'm guessing. I mean, from what I see in this article, it says Kiss of Life to no longer perform at KCON LA 2025. This was on May. Kiss of Life will no longer be participating in KCON LA 2025. On May 17, KCON organizer released an official statement announcing that Kiss of Life will no longer be part of the scheduled lineup following a mutual agreement between the group and the organizers. So I will read the whole statement because it's not that long. It says, "Dear KCONers, thank you for your continued interest and support for KCON LA 2025. Regrettably," I cannot read anymore. "After careful consideration and through discussion exploring all avenues for participation, KCON and S2 Entertainment have mutually decided that Kiss of Life will no longer be participating on KCON in 2025. We sincerely apologize to the fans who were looking forward to the performances, and we kindly ask for you to understand, or for your understanding, there we go. We will do our best to bring you even more special and memorable experiences in the months ahead. Sincerely, K-pop team." I'm just guessing, because when the announcement came that Kiss of Life was going to be at KCON, I went to the comments. I don't know if that's just me being noisy, I don't know, but I went straight to the comments. I was like, this is not gonna look good. And I was right, it didn't. There were a lot of people being like, have you seen what they did in April? Are you aware of what they did? should we send you a link so you could see it? We don't want them there. That was basically the comments for the most part. I will say not all of them, but for the most part it was like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if KCON was worried that their reputation or something was going to be harmed, and the company that Kiss of Life is under were worried about what was going to happen if they put Kiss of Life in LA. There is a comparison that I do have to make here, because one, I have a theory about what is happening, and two, is something that I have been seeing a lot of people more and more talk about, being confused as to why Kiss of Life and not this person. So there is a member of a group called All Day Project, and his name is Tarzan. I think that's how you say that his name. If it's not, I'm sorry, I don't follow this group as much, okay? I heard their debut song and it looks pretty good, but I don't follow the group as much to like know how to pronounce the songs. You know what I mean? Not the songs, the name. There we go. So this member has been on the spotlight since day one, I feel like, since the group debuted with him and everything. From the way he dresses to the way he acts is very black culture appropriation. I feel like pants low, like a little bit more, like you can see his underwear. I saw a clip where he was wearing like 3 pants. I'm like, what the hell? Hat, Shane, the way he acts, the way he just speaks, it's just fully, and it's like, what are you doing? Now I saw somewhere people saying that there's a reason why he's like that. I don't know, but he has been on the spotlight forever. I think he has apologized like 2 times at this point. The company really is not doing anything to like make anything better, honestly, but he's in that group. Now, what the main thing that I've seen people say is, why with Kiss of Life all of this happened and all of this canceling happened, but then you have this other idol, Tarzan in this case, people are not responding the same way, and they even went to KCON as well. I have a theory about this. I might be wrong, but this is just the way that I think of it. This is the main reason why I brought this up, because it goes with the whole fan base again. All Day Project fan base is very strong in Korea. I feel like they got international fans, yes, but it is very strong in Korea. They got members that people know. There is one of the girls was supposed to debut on Elite. I'm sorry, I don't know names, but there was a member that was supposed to debut on Elite and she left, and now she debuted on this. There is another one of the girls that she's a choreographer. She has choreographed for different groups, I feel like. So that there is members there that the public in Korea already know about, and you also got that even though they're a co-ed group and you barely see them in Korea, the concept that they have, people there enjoy it a lot more. With Kiss of Life, their fan base is very strong internationally. They don't have a very strong Korea fan base. Yes, they got Natty, and a lot of people know her from 16, the show that formed twice, but that's basically all. And again, their concept is not very accepted in Korea because it is very sexy. So I think the main reason is Kiss of Life fan base is very international, very strong there, and then they do this, they're getting cancelled for the most part for international fans. Like the strong fan base that they got, so of course you're gonna see a lot of more down things with that. While with All Day Project being their fan base very more strong in Korea, you don't see it as much, honestly. They do have a fan base international, I'm not saying they don't, but the Korean fan base is very strong, and that is what is keeping them together there. With Kiss of Life, their Korean fan base is not as big to maintain that, which is why I feel that comeback that they did not the same as the other ones. So after everything, I haven't seen anything of them doing a comeback. That's literally the first thing that I wrote. I don't know if they're gonna do another one this year. I really don't know. I have seen that they have been performing a little bit here and there. I think they were on Water Bomb at some point, I think. They were in some festivals. They were doing performances for the most part, so they're trying to build up that fan base again. I think that they will change a little bit. This last comeback and the other one that they did before, I feel like the concept was very different from what I'm used to from Kiss of Life since they debuted. And yes, it is sexy, but it's not the type of sexy that I'm used to seeing with Kiss of Life. And I think this is gonna be confirmed, at least to me, when they do a next comeback, because if they go back to the same concept as before, might not be the case. But if they do change it or keep the same one as the one from this comeback they did last in June, it kind of confirms it to me. I think they will try to build up that Korean fan base a lot more and a lot quicker. I think they have come to realize that if something like this happens again, which I'm hopeful that it doesn't, they are not gonna be relying too much on their international fan base, because they know that's going to fall very quickly, and they will have a Korean fan base to support them, which is the theory that I have with All Day Project member and all of that, which I explained already. I get the feeling they're just trying to build that Korean fan base, and for that to happen, they might have to change or tweak things here and there so that Korean public will be more accepting of Kiss of Life. So I think with what happened, I think the company had like a reality check at some point and be like, okay, we have way too much international fan base here, it is way too strong, we need to build this other one, otherwise we might go down if something like this happens again. And I hope it doesn't happen. I hope nothing else happened and they have learned a lesson with all of this, but you never know, let's be honest, you never know. So I think they are you know, trying to fix everything, trying to have the members be a little bit more careful. I remember seeing a video of one of the members celebrating their birthday, and it was completely different from Julie's ones, and a few of the comments were like, oh, you finally learned how to celebrate birthdays. And I was like, oh yeah, people haven't. And that was like a couple of months after April. I was like, yeah, people haven't forgotten about that. Okay, so I think that they are definitely putting the members a little bit of them being a little bit more careful what they do and all of that. It's still giving the space, but being careful. Again, so far what I have been seeing, people, you know, there's people that still follow them, and there's a good chunk of people following them, but when it comes to international fans, I think there's a good chunk that is not following them anymore. I don't think everything is going to go back to normal when it comes to Kiss of Life. These kind of things, like I said at the beginning, it looks like they might go back to normal. It never does. It takes a while, or it never does again. So, but yeah, I wanted to mention this because again, this is nothing new in K-pop. Like I said at the beginning, this kind of backlash is very rare. Having this much of losing followers, being out of KCON lineup even because of everything is a whole thing. And yes, we had All Day Project in KCON. I saw videos, they were there, which that was another reason why people were like, they can be there and not Kiss of Life. Again, Kiss of Life fan base is very international. I understand why they were so scared. All Day Project, that probably was supposed for them to build an international fan base. I don't know if it worked, because from the videos that I have seen, people have been saying that Tarzan was boo when they were on stage. Now some people are saying that was added. I don't know, but I will say this, I have seen videos of people in the concert where on KCON where All Day Project was performing, and whenever Tarzan or his part was up, the people in the video will say mute, even turn off the light sticks that they were having to show that they don't support him. And I also saw another video of the person was recording the members pass in front of them, and where Tarzan was going to pass, they lowered the phone and did absolutely no sound, and when the other member passed, they flipped the phone up and were saying hi again. So I think the whole point of the project there was to build international fan base. I don't think that was a good move, knowing that you have a member that does everything that he does, and international fan base has been calling it out from day one. I don't think KCON really helped with international fan base there. I feel like the next comeback is going to fully tell us what direction the company is now going to take Kiss of Life. If they're going to be the same, if they're going to change it up, what exactly they're doing to kind of fix in a way everything. So we'll see. If you all have known about this, let me know your opinion on it, and what do you think of everything happening. Have you seen any other idols that have had these issues? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing great, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.